So this is a picture that actually I took a few weeks ago. And at that time, I was getting off a bus at a bus station just near where I live. And at that time, I saw a man, as what you can see from this photo, a man wearing a black uniform. And you can see on his back, there is a company logo. Actually, it's the bus company logo. And actually, I saw he was holding some paper, and I'm quite sensitive to how people work and collaborate, because in my daily work, I work with too many different customers about how collaborate better, how we can automate the workflow, etc. So I was quite interested of what he was doing with the paper and pens just beside the bus station, right? So he's holding a clip, and he was trying to, what I saw was he was trying to jot down something on the paper. And so after the bus left the station, I just walked to him, and I asked a question to that man. I said, "Excuse me, sir, pardon me asking this. My name is Samuel, and I'm working on a project and all about how people could work better in their daily life, right? And I noticed that you are trying to write down something with your paper and pen. And would you mind to let me know what are you doing up here?" So he said, "Oh yeah, I don't mind." He said, I just need to basically record down the bus arrival time at this station, and I need to know, need to jot down roughly how many passengers get off at this station. So that's very interesting. And I continue to ask. I said, what will you do with all this information later? Are you going to put all this information into the system, do some analysis later, whatever? Actually, I'm just responsible for taking down all the information, and I don't do any analysis. I will just pass this data to the lady in the office, and she will help to enter the data in the system, or maybe they will do some analysis, but I don't know. That's the man's answer. So I think that all makes sense, right? But I continue to ask, right? So will you, because it's quite new to me. I haven't seen you before at this station. So are you working this all day long, or how would be your daily life? So is that I need to do similar things in different places, and just today I'm at this station, but tomorrow I will move to another station, but I'm just doing similar works every day. So I'm quite appreciative of his generosity in sharing all this information with me. And the most interesting thing actually that catches me is that I think all we can get from this photo is all the elements that we can find from this photo. All right. So the first thing is he's holding a paper. He's working on a paper, and that paper is in a table format, right? And the table usage is quite common in our daily life, especially for what we call the regular user or frontline workers. They're deskless workers. They are working mainly outside, and most of the time we will find them on the paper and with the table. And because the structure column, structural rows, they are very, very helpful for productivity, because anytime you enter the information into a table, they get quickly and in a very well organized format. So first thing is the table. And the second thing is the pen. The pen is nothing new to us, but with the pen, with potentially with different colors of pens. And in this case, you see that he used a red pen and he used a blue pen. I guess for different purpose. I didn't ask this question, but I guess he might using the red pen maybe for marking some important information. Maybe such as a bus is delayed, or this bus is an empty bus, then something need to be highlighted. He used the red pen, right? And then the third element is about the location. As a deskless worker, he might be working in different locations. And I believe on his table, on the data he's trying to record, I believe there should be a field to fill in the station name. And that station name is a location. And he just keep moving from time to time. And he need to record that location from time to time as well. Last but not the least, is that after you have all this data, if you don't use it, if you don't process all this data, it's useless. So eventually, you need to submit all this data back to the office, like he just mentioned that he just passed the information to the lady in the office, and then he done his job, right? And the later workflow actually starting from there, because all the follow-up actions starting from after you submit the data, maybe it could be for the data analytics, or maybe it's for to validate the bus schedule, whatever. So the workflow is all based on that table and based on that form. And let's just sit back for a while. If you think about all these elements I just mentioned, and think about how we can maybe improve this process, right? It's still a paper process, first of all. And you think about the paper, the pen, the location, the time, the data when he submit this table to the office, the workflow after that. How can we improve this workflow if I would like to have this everything's automated and more real time to collaborate better? If we're asking a questions and trying to answer these questions, actually you are trying to answer the questions what Appsheet does. So I think this is a very good example to answer what is Appsheet. In a nutshell, Appsheet is a no-code development platform, which is based on Google Cloud's infrastructure, and it's part of Google Workspace service. And it's designed for citizen developers, which means for regular users. And you can use this platform to create mobile applications, to create web applications, all right? So in a nutshell, it's a platform, and it's a no-code development platform to create apps. We are in an era of no-code, which is basically being able to build apps without any actual traditional programming or software engineering knowledge. So a no-code platform could enable the citizen developers to quickly build apps without any code. Typically, all these apps are built on your existing data source, as simple as a database or as simple as a Google Sheets storing in the cloud. So remember that the bus company worker with that paper table, this piece of paper eventually turns into a digital spreadsheet. And now we can add some magic on this spreadsheet to convert this spreadsheet into a working mobile app. So that when the bus company worker, if I have this app, when the company bus worker to record the data next time, imagine he's not using the paper, he's using this mobile app. Then is now he will be able to use his smartphone together with that mobile app every trade to complete his daily work paperless and more efficiently. Now with this with this Appsheet in the Google Workspace, anyone in your team actually can mix apps and automate the process. And all these apps are able to deploy across multiple platforms, and they can be operate in real time, and they are also very powerful actually. The diagram at the bottom, this shows the actual architecture of these no-code apps. Of course, in the middle, it's the Appsheet platform, which in here we specify how the app works and all about no-code, which I will show you later. Then, of course, the app definition, right? All this app definition is basically built on an actual data source, and it could be a database, or in most cases, it's just a user's spreadsheet, such as like a Google Sheet. So that any data manipulations within this app, we will be updated back to your spreadsheet through this app you just built, all right? And of course, all this app you build by the platform, by the Appsheet platform, it's a live app, and it can be deployed into multiple platforms, which means you can run this on mobile phone, run on the tablet, or run on browser. Okay. And it's not only about the spreadsheet. but the AppSheet actually can also connect, this platform can also connect to different data sources, as well you can see on this diagram, but it's not our core focus today. First of all, you can connect Google Sheet. It can also connect such as the Microsoft Excel, saving in their any cloud storage. It can also connect to other API services, such as the GCP Apigee, which the Apigee is like adding like a gateway, publishing the data behind the Apigee, and all this data can be connected with the AppSheet to build this app with no code. So once we convert this spreadsheet into an app, and that would provide much more benefit comparing to just a single spreadsheet. So first of all, similar to other mobile applications, this AppSheet app, of course, can be installed on across devices, and you can use a mobile phone or tablet to access this app. You can also use the browser, right, to interact with all those data in your spreadsheet. And it's running on mobile. So because it's running on mobile, so you're actually bringing in other mobile functionalities to enrich your data input methods into the spreadsheet. Let's just use that busman example again. Next time, if he need to record a location information, such as the bus location, the bus station location, then you can leverage the cell phone's GPS function to log the location detail automatically, right? He can also use other mobile functionalities such as the camera to capture the images, or when you build apps with this AppSheet platform and you have the mobile app, you can also apply other, you can also use other mobile components such as the camera to capture image, to capture the barcode, to do the QR code scanning. So all these things, once you build the app, you can leveraging, just imagine like you download a mobile app from the App Store, it's similar like that. But the actual database is running on your sheet. And another great benefit for that when you're converting that is that now you can build a solution faster. And of course, managing the data more efficiently. When you develop a traditional mobile app, you may need to request for different resources, and sometimes even a whole project team to work on iterations in development. But now with the concept that everyone can code, everyone can be a developer and work on a no-code application. So now we can, by leveraging this service, we can shorten the development time substantially. As well, you can see from idea to solution directly with no code. So you can add fast. So that's just a very brief introduction about the AppSheet to give you a basic idea what it is. So now I'm going to do some demo for you to let you understand, give you some more idea about some basic idea about the AppSheet. All right.
Yeah, Samuel. Let me check with the participant whether they have any question.
Sorry, sure, Siri. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Untuk peserta-peserta ya, jika anda ada sebarang persoalan, boleh tanya kami directly, boleh unmute dan tanya, ataupun boleh type di Q&A. Ada tab Q&A dekat sini, dekat yang macam ada bawah piramid tu kan, yang Squid Game punya tu. Just click on Q&A and you can masukkan question. And kalau tak, boleh masukkan di bahagian chat juga, kami akan menjawab soalan anda lah. Ya. Jika ada apa-apa sebarang soalan based on apa yang Samuel dah present so far, boleh tujukan sekarang juga kalau ada. Ataupun maybe saya boleh tanya, ada tak mana-mana peserta pernah gunakan AppSheet, pernah melayari website AppSheet ke, tengok apa function dia dan sebagainya? Jangan malu-malu, this is two-way communication session, so you can share your idea or what is your experience using any AppSheet application sebelum ni ke, atau do you have any idea? Okay, there's a question regarding this. Do we have to pay for these apps? Samuel, do you want to take up that?
Yes, well, we will cover more details on the licensing part about the AppSheet app usage, I think. but I can give a very short answer here. First of
Sure.
all, when you go to the appsheet.com to create any prototype app, means you would like to taste what the Appsheet platform looks like. It's completely for free, so you can do that, design the logics and text whatever function features there. But if you want to deploy that into the production, say I would like to have more users to use my app, yes, you will need some license. It's just like other SaaS platform. So there are a few options. You can use the Appsheet within the Google Workspace. It's part of the Google Workspace service, or it can be also Appsheet can also we also have the standalone license for Appsheet. Depends on the functionality, and there are tiers of services there. So,
yeah. Thank you Samuel. So just to summarize apa yang Samuel dah bagi tahu adalah Appsheet boleh digunakan melalui Google Workspace jika anda membeli edisi Enterprise Plus Google Workspace. Appsheet comes together with it, or anda boleh membeli secara asing a la carte. You can just buy Appsheet, and like what Samuel mentioned, it's depend on how many people are connecting to the application, right? Okay, we'll continue with the demo, and jika ada sebarang question, please tujukan kepada kami, then kami boleh address along the session. Thank you.
Sure thing. Thank you, Siri. And I truly believe a demo worth 10,000 words, right? So now what you can see, I'm going to demonstrate with you the Appsheet UI and how we can quickly start an app in just a few clicks, all right, in just a few clicks. As I just mentioned earlier, most of the cases when using the Appsheet could be based on your spreadsheet. So now I am opening a Google spreadsheet, a Google Sheets. I believe this is not new to many of us, right? So on this spreadsheet, let's just imagine I have a very simple table that I'm working on every day, recording anything. So I just give it a few column. Let's just do a very simple apps first. Okay, so imagine I have a table, I have ID, I have timestamp, I have department, I have submitted. So I would like to just create an app. This is an app that you can submit some information through this app and update back to this spreadsheet. This is what I'm going to do. So let me give it a name. Maybe this is an app name submit requests, and I rename this spreadsheet to request. Okay, so in a few seconds, I already create a database for this mobile app. Very simple, right? Now I'm going to the first integration about the Appsheet with the Google Workspace is for every Google Sheet, you can connect that and convert that sheet into an Appsheet. Of course, there was some formatting requirement there, but in this case, this is a very simple spreadsheet, so I can convert this Appsheet and I create an app based on that. So now you can see the Appsheet platform being launched, and it's reading my data structure. And basically, again, in a few seconds, this is the platform of Appsheet. So welcome to Appsheet. As what you can see here, there are no codes here, right? Everything is just like the regular software you're using every day. And on the left side, we have navigation. That basically every blade, every slot, the main functions for the Appsheet that we provide. And then in the middle, that is what we call the action panel. You change your app definition from here, and then what you change, you will see what you see is what you what you change is what you see on the right side. On the right side, there is a preview window, preview panel. This would be actually the what the app you build looks like. So what I can say here is, based on this spreadsheet right now, Appsheet helps me to convert this spreadsheet into a very minimum function app already. You don't see anything on this request page, right? On this request page, because on this table, we don't have any data at the moment. So that's why at the request page, there is nothing. And you can see that request, this is actually the name of your spreadsheet tab name. So they're all identical. So imagine, considering this is your spreadsheet. And we have a plus button here. If I click on this plus button, I will quickly launch a form. similar to a Google form or any form you're using today, online form today. And of course, we found some familiar column name, such as the timestamp. I specify the ID, the department, the submitter. Appsheet is actually on this app. It helps me to generate some data already, such as the ID, right? Such as the ID. It's a random number. And I don't have any ID specified here, but the Appsheet helps me to create an ID format data here. And the timestamp is actually my current timestamp. So it's done by some functions automatically in Appsheet already. Now I have another two fields, department and submitter, which allow me to enter anything. So let me say I am from Alan Tech, Tech Team, and the submitter is Samuel. Okay, then I can click Save. So you see on the right top corner, there was a small number there. That means the Appsheet is trying to sync this data back to the spreadsheet. Okay, now you see all the data I just entered from that app is already synced back to this spreadsheet. Okay, so this is a very, very simple UI that you can see. And also I would like to show you, as I said before, this is an app that can be run on the mobile devices. And within that minute, the app should convert that sheet into an app. And on the mobile phone, this is my mobile phone, right? So I have downloaded an Appsheet app here. This is the parent app that's storing all my apps within the Appsheet. So imagine the app, considering the Appsheet is just the platform, and spin off all the apps within this platform. So now within the Appsheet, I can find my app I just created, submit request. This is the one. This is the one, the app I just created. So now you can see it's running on my mobile phone. Vantech, sorry. This time I saw I entered Google, and the submitter is Samuel. And I saved this again, and I can see on the right top corner, this app is trying to communicate with my database, which is the spreadsheet. And now it finished, and I can see this data already right back to my spreadsheet. So very, very simple demonstration about how to create an app, start an app. It's very easy. And then I give you a few more idea about the UI. And on the left side, this is the navigation pane. And the most of the function I need to work on is the data blade, because here we are defining all our spreadsheet table, which adding like our database for this app. So here you can see the request table. This is actually this table, right? The request table. And the request table, I can see all the columns in spreadsheet formatting. And we can, there are a bunch of settings here I can do. Most of the time, what we do is the type, right? Because it depends on how I would like to show up all those data. I will need to specify the right type. For example, the timestamp. When any people, when they are trying to update this form, the timestamp should be the datetime formatting. So it's just like how you use a spreadsheet. You specify this is a datetime format. And for department, I would like to be a free flow text. So it's a text format. And submitter as well as it's also a text format. And there are other data types. I will cover that some of them a while later. And you can also specify functions. All these functions may be the only places that you will need to code. But when I say code, it's very similar to a spreadsheet formula. So as long as you are using spreadsheet formula today in Google Sheet, I think this is no stranger to you. It's like just like how you use the spreadsheet formula. And here are some suggestions of the supported formulas. And there are more formulas you can do or you can use. You can query that from our Appsheet website. There are full guidelines from there. All right, this is a very, very simple demonstration of this UI. And let me just continue back to the presentation, and I will have more demos for you, another demo for you later. Then let's go to about, now you know what is Appsheet, right? It's a platform that you can convert a spreadsheet into an app. And you may want to know more about some common use scenarios of Appsheet, and how can you get started. And from many of our customer cases or the customer cases I work with, we saw that the first step will be to looking at your prospects of your existing digital transformation agenda. And if you're already looking into the digital transformation, if you're looking into to transform your daily operation, I think introducing the no-code platform will be very helpful to scale your digital initiatives across the organization. It will also allow your central team, right, to empower to their teams with the tools to digitize their process without purchasing additional SaaS platform across the organization, because this is already part of the Google Workspace service. And the second area you may want to focus is, do you have any manual process in existence today? Often users are already aware that there are some manual processes which are holding them back, and try asking a question, right? I ask my customers and try to ask a question like, do you have any manual processes that you're looking to digitize? And if the answer is yes, maybe that is a good place to start. And as an example, many of those manual processes, when you say this manual, is most of the time they are paper-based, like the bus station man, how he was working every day is based on the paper. And you know, the paper-based management system are expensive to administer, and they are also insecure and inaccurate because the paper can get lost or stolen, and all the paper must be carefully filed and tracked, right? Then now with using the no-code platform, even in a highly regulated industries, such as public healthcare industries, you can move on from a paper-based processes to a paperless processes, and replacing those tiered methods with the devices such as a smartphone or with the tablets to provide an easier data entry, providing more storage, and provide immediate access to the records, and so other benefits as well. So the Appsheet will provide all these functionalities, as I just mentioned, right? Now that with this app, the bus station man, every time he enters the new data, it's immediately submitted back to the office. You don't need to hand in that paper back to the office again, all right? And sometimes if you want to do some multimedia, for example, you would like to take a picture, you can just use your mobile phone, take the picture directly, and that picture is also submitting back to the office almost immediately. So this is giving you more flexibility with about all your processes. Then the next common usage is that I think it's to empower your field team and increase those employees' productivity. And you are going to make this online form and make this spreadsheet-based process smarter. So, empowering the individual, I think, is just the first step, because the bigger opportunity is to connect all together these processes and teams to support a more effective collaboration and reduce the time taking to complete all those key processes. So the organizations can set up advanced workflows to send emails, to send SMS, all these kind of notification, and even you can generate documentation with the Appsheet when certain criteria is met. And often when an organization begins to digitize, the online form and spreadsheet, most of the time, these are the fast way to modernize the process. So we have so many spreadsheets today, right? This is good because the spreadsheet helps to store all the data in a well-structured way, store all the data we have today. But this also sometimes could be cumbersome due to the limitations of the forms and the spreadsheets, right? Say, for example, if you need a workflow based on your spreadsheet, then you may need to look for other SaaS solution to create an automation and create a complex processes based on that spreadsheet. And you may need to write something, right? You may need to cook something so that the actual flow with that spreadsheet can work better in your business logic. And And there are other no-code platforms in the market today, actually, and all those platforms, most of those platforms are more canvas-driven, which means user will need to burn time designing the application. But the Appsheet is actually is more data-driven, which means users can leverage the same database they're using today. Like the example I just give you, I'm using just a spreadsheet. That is the spreadsheet I am doing every day, and I'm going to convert that spreadsheet, make it like an application, and add some logic, add some business logic there. Make this to be a complex. You can even make this to be a complex application. So this is also a very strong suggestion to all the users, which is, I think, is to asking a question about, do you repeating any daily work that is based on the spreadsheet? And if yes, right, so Appsheet would be one of the tools you may consider to help to digitize that spreadsheet process. Some customer references here. Be conscious of the time. We don't go through every one of them, but maybe two cases related to the public sector is that, and also I hide some of the customer name because for those are not public customer references. So but I do highlight two customers. So one project name is the LXRP. LXRP is a program of the government of Victoria State in Australia. And basically they have areas where roads drive over train tracks today. So they decided to get rid of them due to the number of deaths. And they need to be able to track the resources because the delivery people, they will enter the construction sites for this project. And they have 300 construction sites all over the state. So what they want is a simple way to manage this check-in, manage to track different check-ins and the chains. How many people coming in, how many people going out. And so I think this is a great example because it's quite diversified. The workforce is not in one place, but in 300 different construction sites all around the state. And they all can use this Appsheet app to enter the data, and everything will be committed back to your database or spreadsheet immediately. So it's quite a diversified usage example. And then finally, it's the Southern Coast Care in another healthcare sector. This is also in Australia. And this is the Google Workspace friendly customer. And the use case here is that they have roughly about 300 invoices per day that they need to process. And it's all about the manual process procedures. So all these manual procedures, they would need to handle the PO, handle the invoices, and it's quite intensive. And this is an interesting case because how they're going to resolve this problem is, again, they are using the Appsheet to build an app and leveraging a function, a new feature called the automation, which I will show this to you. They use the automation function to do some automated invoicing, scanning and processing without having to code. It's just like drag and drop and configure the logic, configure the formula on the Appsheet platform and build an app that runs on the mobile devices. Another customer references, this can be published by the name, and this is also another large customers of the Appsheet and Google Workspace is a global telecom. This is a telecom company in Philippines. So they are also using this Appsheet platform to build many apps to replace some of their LOB applications in the company today. And they even arrange a local hackathon event that encourage every employees to develop the apps to resolve actual business problem based on this platform. So mentioning this, today on the Appsheet platform, there are more than 3.7 million apps created by the Appsheet platform on the platform already. So what you can find is some of the apps, it's a very big community, and some of their apps they already published as a template. So when you play around all the apps, you can find a different templates, and you can see how the people, achieve that flow by using this app.